Hello, my name is Brenda Harris Collins, and I work for New York State Office of Addiction Services and Supports, and I oversee 6 of the downstate New York State Oasis Addiction Treatment Centers. There are 12 addiction treatment centers across the state of New York. And so I'm coming to talk to you a little bit today about the pathway of treatment and early recovery. This is a viable pathway for those who are seeking to recover from substance use disorders and problem gambling. So one of the things that's unique about the addiction treatment centers is that we both treat substance use disorders as well as problem gambling. Where I'm going to begin talking to you today is really about how did the treatment play a role in early recovery. It plays a big, huge role in a pathway for helping someone who may be struggling with their addiction to recover and to begin to put the pieces back together. Early recovery for many individuals can be a roller coaster ride. It can be emotions going up and down, challenges in relationships. It could be strong cravings and not knowing how to manage those cravings. It could be withdrawal symptoms. It can be lack of resistance to relapse triggers. Really trying to put some things in place, but then those triggers, the community which a person lives in, can trigger. Just their household could be a trigger. Looking at certain pictures or walking down certain blocks could be a trigger. And so in early recovery, many times you may try different things and other pathways and then still struggle. So this is an opportunity to really take a look at this particular pathway. It is only one of the multiple pathways to recovery. Early recovery also looks at, some individuals come into recovery um, in the stage of free contemplation or contemplating wanting to do better, really wanting to see their life change, and trying to find a way to get somewhere so that they can prepare. And maybe it means removing themselves from that community, moving themselves from the home. And treatment offers that. One of the things that treatment begins to help people identify is that recovery definitely is real and that there is a way to change their life for whether it's substance use disorder or whether it's problem gambling. What do you do when you get to the point where you don't see any way out? You've tried doing it on your own, you tried other pathways and have not been successful. There's a lack of motivation. You've been receiving ultimatums from your family and from the court, etc. What do you do? One of the things you can look at is treatment. Treatment works. Consider treatment, which addresses the chronic nature of addiction. Like other chronic diseases, treatment can successfully manage addiction. Just like a diabetic or someone with high blood pressure will need to go to the doctor and seek treatment. This is also a way that you can seek treatment for your addiction. Um, this is a clinical pathway to recovery. So you receive clinical services that will address your addiction. The New York State Oasis ATCs, the addiction treatment centers, there are 12 across the state. There is Stutzman, that's in Buffalo, St. Lawrence, that is in St. Lawrence, New York, DVD, Dick Van Dyke, which is in Ovid, New York, McPike, which is in Utica, New York, Norris, which is in Rochester, Ward, which is in Middletown, New York, Blaisdell, which is in Orangeburg, New York, Rockland County, Bronx, ATC, South Beach, ATC in Staten Island, Kingsborough, ATC in Brooklyn, Fremont, ATC in Queens, and CK Pulse, ATC in Long Island and Suffolk County. So there are 12 of these centers. The services that are offered at these centers are most of the 12 centers offer inpatient rehabilitation. There are short-term programs with varied lengths of stay. So a person comes and they're looked as an individual, and they can attend this particular program for some, on average, is like 28, 30 days. It can be up to 45 days that a person is in inpatient rehabilitation. It could be less. It depends upon the individual. There is also some unique ATCs. One is Kingsborough, that also has a medically supervised detox unit. And then you have Creedmoor ATC in Queens, which is a long-term residential treatment program that offers both stabilization and rehabilitation services. You also have CK Post, which has an inpatient rehabilitation and the community residence. So the ATCs offers a spectrum of services. And one of the unique things about the ATCs, no matter where you are in New York State, if you need services, we will find, if we have beds open somewhere, you can come in to our sites. New York State Oasis ATCs take individuals that are 18 years and older. They take individuals with co-occurring disorders and medical disorders, treatment for substance use and problem gambling, as we said. And one of the unique things is that we also provide options for medication-assisted treatment. And so Kingsborough ATC, our ATC in Brooklyn, provides methadone. Other ATCs provide methadone through guest dosing, and all of the ATCs generally offer Suboxone and Vivitrol. So medication-assisted treatment is something that can be provided and introduced to a person through this pathway. Other things about the ATCs is that it provides professional clinical treatment, provides a supportive environment, caring environment that a person can come in, holistic care, trauma-informed, it's strength-based, it's recovery-oriented. It looks at introducing individuals to all pathways of recovery. So we understand that this is just a blip of time in a person's long-term recovery journey, and this is only one moment in it. And so we need to make sure that we're introducing individuals to other options to sustain and maintain their recovery. It looks at a person's strengths, needs, abilities, and preferences are assessed as soon as a person comes in. And it provides mental health. All of our ATCs provide some mental health services. They will have access to psychiatrists, possibly a psychiatric nurse practitioner, a social worker. There's 24-hour nursing staff and medical doctors and KSACs also that work in our facilities. Uniquely about the ATCs is especially we do have some specialty populations. So individuals come with our own unique needs and our own uniqueness, and so that is addressed. And so sometimes it's very difficult to find places that will meet your unique needs. We have our Norris ATC that addresses the deaf and hard of hearing. We have our Kingsborough ATC that has a monolingual Spanish program. Some of our other facilities have various languages that they, South Beach ATC has a huge Russian component to their program. There are other languages, and if you speak something and we don't have staff, we do bring in interpreters to help with the process. We also have our Blaisdell ATC that works with individuals who have traumatic brain injury. And all of our programs provide services for problem gambling only and co-recurrent problem gambling. So you see that we are able to meet people where they are. And that's really important in this process and in this pathway to recovery. We want to meet you where you are, but it is necessary sometimes to separate and come into a place where you can begin to work on yourself, begin to heal, begin to stabilize. Because one of the things, I've worked in this field for a very long time, and one of the things that I've realized is if my basic needs are not being met, if I'm struggling on the outside, I can't hear what people may be saying to me. So sometimes it takes removing myself from that environment and then being able to make sure I have a roof over my head, food to eat, clothing to wear, so that I can really take in what I need to take in to change my life. And so it is important to know that this is a viable option for as a pathway to recovery. Some of the other services that the ATCs offer, Norris ATC has therapy dogs. Some of the facilities have yoga, acupuncture. They introduce you to mutual aid groups, AA, NA, CA. Narcan training is available. You can go to an ATC and also have family sessions. And there are alumni groups that are a part of our ATC, so that once you are discharged, you can join up with the alumni group to keep a connection. Connections are so important to the pathway of recovery. So making those connections, coming in, making a connection with the provider, the ATC, that you can also call up if you need additional help. Discharge planning is really a big part of this, and the provider, the ATC, works with you to from the day that you come in to begin to develop where are you going to go? Are you homeless and have no place to go? This is a place that you can come, and then there will be options to look at. Transitional housing, which would be another pathway to recovery. So maybe it's going to a transitional house, a community residence that can help you continue to focus on your recovery. That starts from day one. Maybe it's going to long-term residential treatment. That may be the option. Maybe it's outpatient treatment. So you may come to us and then go to outpatient treatment and still be able to go to work and continue. Maybe it's going to connecting while you're in there. Many times, even in this time of virtual meetings, we've been able to connect people to sponsors, even virtually. And once they left, they were able to continue to connect to their sponsor in a 12-step mutual aid group. And so we're exposing you to other pathways. We connect people to peers. We connect them to recovery centers. So this is important. This can be the beginning of a long part of your journey. This is just the beginning. It's just early recovery. And now you come, you stabilize, and now you're able to go and really flourish, and you're able to grow, you're able to connect to people, you're able to see that recovery is real, it can be done, and utilize this pathway. Once individuals leave us, they sustain their recovery in various different ways. And so this is something that we want you to really take a look at. Recovery is a journey, and this may be just the one stop on this journey. This may be one stop. So many people will go on and continue to find other pathways to recovery. Is a place that an individual can stop, stabilize, and begin to hear and choose other options. After this connection, you can connect to places to sustain your recovery. I think that this is a good option for many people who don't have many other options left, and this can be one of those options. We're trying to reach those who never come into our programs and let them know that this is a viable pathway to recovery. Thank you.